Hi, it's Paula Knall here from Knall Crafting, and today I'm going to show you a couple of cards using the Aqua Painter to give a really subtle watercolour effect. So I'm starting off with a half sheet of A4 cardstock that's been scored in the middle, and it's a single layer card that I'm making today, so it just goes to show you can get really effective cards without having to do lots of complicated layers. So there we are, there's my card. I'm going to use my Memento, which may surprise some people. So I'm actually using a water-based ink. I'm going to ink up my stamp, and then I'm literally going to go straight down and straight up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add the water whilst that ink is still very slightly damp. So I'm going to just take a little of the ink with the edge of the Aqua Painter and just use it to create the shadow so it just gives a very subtle effect. And you don't want your Aqua Painter to be too wet, so just keep drying it off. And then again here. So I'm just picking up that ink. So there we go, you can see if I actually get one that I haven't done that to, you can just see that it's just giving it a little bit more dimension, just a bit of shadow against the flower there. Then I'm going to use two stamps from the Touches of Texture set. Again, I'm going to ink them up with my Memento. But I don't want these to be quite as dark, these images, as the actual image from the initial flower. So I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm just going to stamp on the edge there. Then with this one here, again, I'm going to stamp off and then just stamp on the corner there. And then finally, I've got a sympathy stamp here, and that is from Flourishing Phrases. And I'll just ink that up. And put that there. I probably should have used a Stamp-O-Majig to get that straight. But there we have a really simple monochrome effect card. So the other technique I'm going to show you now is with the very same stamps, but I'm going to add some colour to this time. Now, it's really important when you're adding colour and not actually pulling out the black ink, is that you let this dry for a lot longer than you did. The other one you do sort of pretty much instantly. This one you let the ink dry first. So I'm going to start off with Pink Pirouette. I'll just put a bit of ink in the lid by squeezing it together. And again, make sure your Aqua Painter's not too wet. Pick up some ink, and again I'm just going around that edge, around and try not to touch the black ink, but it shouldn't bleed too much because you've allowed it to dry for longer. Again, So once we've got the pink down, adding in a little bit more if you see a bit, you just want a little bit more colour, like so. Then we're going to move on to the So Saffron, again, a little bit in the lid. Oops, if I do it the right side. Touch on there, and this time it's really literally just a tiny swipe, like so. And then lastly with the Pear Pizzazz for the stems. So now the pink's dried slightly, I can just see that there's quite a harsh edge here and here. So I'm just going to blend it in very slightly. Just a bit of a wobble of the hand. Okay, so this time touches of texture again. Ink up the stamp, stamp off, and a little bit there. Just a bit there. And this time I'm using a clear stamp from the Butterfly Basics, so it's photopolymer this time, so I should be able to get it a bit straighter than the sympathy card. And I'm going to put that just like so. So there we have two very different cards using a similar technique, one with the colour and one in the monochrome. I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. I hope you'll come back and watch some more. Thanks for watching.